Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. I don't know, it just seems as if everybody's calling, messaging from all over the world. Just last night I got a call from Maryland, somebody from Baltimore, people living away, and even people in Trinidad and Tobago, aghast with the challenges in school violence and what is going on and what's been going on. Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to go back to the videos of me on either CNC3, Morning Edition with Fazir Muhammad, and the likes. Even I did a show with Natalie Legore early in the year. And I made the point, and I continue to make the point, that we keep missing the mark when it comes to our children. We keep missing the mark when it comes to understanding who they are, what they are, and what we need to do. I said very early on that this pandemic, this 2+ years of pandemic, where our children were living in the lion's den, hunger, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, domestic violence situation, and the list goes on and on and on. And let's not talk about educational disparity, where our children had to deal with who had laptop, who had no laptop, who had connectivity, who had no connectivity, who parent could read and write to help them to fill out the documents, and whose parents were functionally literate, those who collected the packets and those who did not. And when school was about to open, and I always praise and thank, the ministry for bringing school to the point where we could open, because I believe that it should be. I made the point that a lot of work needed to be done. A lot of work needed to be done with our children in preparation. And even when they got out there, a lot of work needs to be done in relation to their psychosocial mental health. And the reason for this is because me, Hanif Benjamin, and other professionals like me would have said that after 2 years of lockdown, cabin fever, and all the other things that I mentioned prior, our children suffering. The children suffering. And now everybody's up in arms because of the violence in school, and we want to expel them. Expel them to do what? We want to suspend them to do what? To put them where? To become what? And over, oh, we want to put them in youth camp and boot camp and police camp and this camp. To do what? Let us understand our children. Let us understand what they are going through, what they have been through. Children are saying to us that we are not listening to them. We are not hearing them. Children are saying to us that they are pain, they are hurting. And yet we always take a punitive approach. I am not discounting that if a crime happens, we need to treat with it. But we need to treat with it from a therapeutic jurisprudence perspective. It cannot be we come down with the law. It cannot be that we lock them up and throw away the key. Let us understand what is going on with our children, their adolescent development. Let us understand the trauma of the last 2.5 years. It has children in school who is as lost as a patron on a windy day. Because the 2 years of school was so tumultuous. There are so many of our children who never attended this online world. There are so many of our children who never had an opportunity even though they wanted to. And now they have to sit down. They have to sit down in a classroom to rush through a curriculum because we have to produce, we have to do exam. And I beg the ministry, let us forego this rigorous academia for the 2 months and work on the psychosocial mental well-being of our children. We don't even have enough social workers and guidance counselors to do the programs that I know they can do to help our children. We keep only dancing, and it's tiring. And I'm wondering, where are the voices for our children? Who are the voices for our children? At what point we are going to put our children as number one? At what point we are going to say, you know what? Our children deserve better. I don't understand. I don't understand, you know. I don't understand because something about us in this country where we are so punitive in nature. We don't like to take advice from people. For whatever reason, that's up to you. But our children are suffering. And let me tell you something. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. It takes 2 years to 3 years for behavior modification to occur. Our children were out for 2.5 years. The point is that we have to realign. We have to realign how they think, what they do. You think bullying stopped in the pandemic? Keyboard warriors is what they call them. Keyboard warriors. Where they were fighting a keyboard battle for 2 years. What do you think going to happen when they reach in real life? What do you think going to happen when they meet up? All of these things I warned Trinidad and Tobago about. I told Trinidad and Tobago, yo, we have to prepare. We have to put intervention in place. But we did not. Or if we did, it was inadequate. And today we are reaping the benefits, the unfortunate benefits of this. Sometimes I think that we want our children to fail. Sometimes I think that we want our children to do badly so that we have something to talk about. Because it's not it. I'm just not getting it. I'm not understanding. Let's not be surprised. What is happening now, I said would have happened. What is happening now could have been prevented. What is happening now will continue to happen. Because the way we're going about trying to fix it is, or we will expel, or we will lock up, or we will this, or we will that. Ain't nobody afraid of that. Them children, them traumatized, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, psychological, them don't care. Because they don't think that you care about them. So they are caring about nobody or anything. So they will continue to do what they do. They will continue to burn the village to feel the warmth. Because we are not providing the warmth to them. If all you want our children to do better, we as the adult have to do better. If we want our children to excel, we the adult must do better. If we want our schools to do well, we the adult must do better. Our children screaming out for help. Right now is a hard time for children in Trinidad and Tobago. It's a hard time. I don't know who, I'm scared for my own nieces and nephews. Children, Trinidad and Tobago, it's a difficult period. I pray God protection over them every day. If we want to fix what we're seeing, let us begin to take our children seriously. Parents, begin to listen to your children from a non-punitive, non-judgmental perspective. Teachers, I know you're overwhelmed. I know you have a lot to do. But if you could find a way to work in a humanistic, psychosocial perspective, that will go a long way for you and your class and for your students. The Ministry of Education, at some point, we had to listen. Our children are dying. Our children are suffering. And we are out here trying to look good. This is not pageantry. This is not pageantry. This is real life. Our children, every single day are going down a slippery abyss until we get up and make it better for them. I pray God be unto all our children on this beautiful Wednesday morning.